All right, good evening and welcome everybody to the Village of Weberville Council meeting. Today is March 23rd, 2026. We'll call to order here with a roll call.
McEwen?
Here.
Schoenborn? Here. Stanfield?
Here.
Walter?
Here.
Schulte?
Here. All right, we have a quorum. Everybody please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Is there an approval for the agenda this evening?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, first order of business this evening is we have a public hearing. This is for the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget amendment, as well as the fiscal year 26-27 village and DDA budgets and proposed millage rate. So at this point, I recommend to the council that we open the public hearing for the budget amendments as well as the millage rate.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
McEwen?
Yes.
Schoenborn? Yes. Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter? Yes. Schulte?
Yes. Okay, at this time, we are open for public comment specifically for the fiscal year budgets, the budget amendment, and the proposed millage rate. Is there any public comment on those items?
What will the budget, the village budget be for fiscal year 26-27?
13.2.
Is there a change in the proposal?
No.
What is it currently?
13.2.
13.2. Thank you.
So there is absolutely no change then? Okay.
It's just formality. We have to do a resolution every year.
Any other public comments? If not, we'll close the public comments. And I recommend to the council that we close the public hearing for the fiscal year budgets as well as the proposed millage rate.
I motion to close.
Second.
Roll call.
McEwen?
Yes.
Schoenborn? Yes. Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter?
Yes.
Schulte?
Yes. Okay, on to our regular agenda. So that brings us to regular public comment. So anybody would comment about anything else? Seeing none, I have no comments myself, which brings us to the consent agenda, which includes the minutes of the council meeting from March 10th, the accounts payable, revenue expenditure report, and the balance sheet. Any questions from the council on those items? If not, is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Seconded, roll call.
McEwen?
Yes.
Schoenborn? Yes. Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter? Schulte?
Yes. Okay, brings us to reports. First up is engineer report. Bruce.
Yes, so we took bids last week on the Summit Street project, and we received one bid from Nielsen Construction, and we're in the process of evaluating that bid. Could potentially bring that to the council at the next meeting for approval.
Okay. No bids to compare it to, but does it seem reasonable?
It was a little higher than my estimate. But I think we had 3 people attend the pre-bid meeting, so those people, were intending on bidding, and then I think what happened was they got scared off a little bit by the contaminated soil removal from conversations with one of them.
Okay. Okay, anything else?
Nope.
So the soil has got to be removed as part of the project?
Yeah, that site, you might recall, had a underground storage tank on it that was removed,
Okay,
and there's some lingering, sort of low, I would classify it as low-level contamination.
but the EPA requires it?
Yeah, because it's been classified as a Part 201 site, which is, a state of Michigan designation of a site of known contamination. Therefore, all of anything that you haul off of it has to be taken to a landfill.
Right,
And then
Right,
so
right,
the landfill would characterize the contaminants in the soil, and that would kind of determine what manner of landfill it would be put into, and the more contaminated soil would go into a higher price sort of
Area, yeah.
fill area. So, but we think, based on the sampling that we did, we think that it's all what they call non-hazardous contaminated, which is the lowest level designation.
Isn't that what they did over there originally, is dig out all the contaminated and backfill that?
that's what I thought, yeah, so it has to be done again.
They did, I'm not an environmental person, but my understanding was they dug out the most contaminated material that was there.
Okay.
And the stuff that's remaining, they would recommend exactly what we're planning on doing, which is paving over the top of it so that, you minimize water infiltrating through it and it getting into the ground and so forth.
Is that still technically considered a brownfield on the books?
Yeah, I don't think it ever loses that designation.
Okay, because you're right, when Triterra initially came in, they would say remediated, but they removed a lot of that soil. I think because it's still technically a brownfield, everything has to be tested, even though the majority of what's there was material that was brought in. So I think it's just really a formality why it's expected to be non-hazardous.
Yeah.
So what was left in there leached into the new stuff that came in, is what you're saying?
Potentially.
It's possible, but I think the focus of the soil removal initially was just the area around where the tank was. Josh would know better than I wasn't.
Yeah, it was basically where the tanks were leaking. They took all that out, because when they got down, I wanna say about 10 feet, I mean, if you were even around there, it smelled like a diesel pipe was like right up to your face. I think it was bad, so they dug all, I think they went down like almost 26 feet or something, it was really deep, that they pulled all down and they replaced it with good soil. So, but like I said, because of the contamination level, they have to test it as it goes to go landfill, make sure that, I don't think they're gonna find it's gonna test any, because like they took a huge amount out of there, and it was only the areas that were leaking.
So does it have to be removed at that depth again?
No,
Okay,
just whatever they need for construction.
Yeah, just in order for us to build the parking lot, we need to scrape off, I don't know, a foot to 2 feet
okay,
to get the parking lot at a reasonable slope.
okay.
And then we're putting a small detention basin in next to it as well. So that'll require some excavation.
Anything else, Bruce?
That's all I have. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate the report as always. Any advocate reports? Seeing none, brings us to new business. So first item is resolution 2026-04, intent to establish millage. So like Jessica mentioned, this is it's kind of a formality, but we do this every year. This is where the village sets its millage rate, or layman's term, taxes for the year. Historically, that millage rate has been 13.2 mils. What's being suggested tonight is to keep that at 13.2 mils, so the village in effect would not be raising its portion of the residents' tax bills. So any questions about that? If not, I recommend that we approve resolution 2026-04, intent to establish millage at 13.2 mils.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
McEwen?
Yes.
Schomburg? Yes. Stanfield?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Schulte?
Yes. All right, resolution 2026-05. This is the fiscal year 26-27 WDDA budget approval. I believe this information was provided last meeting. Hope everybody's had a chance to review it. Any questions or discussions on that? If not, I recommend to the board we approve resolution 2026-05, the 26-27 WDDA budget.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
McEwen?
Yes.
Schoenberg?
Yes.
Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter?
No.
Schulte?
Yes. All right, resolution 2026-07. This is the end of year budget amendment for the Village of Weberville. So that's the fiscal year 25-26. Any questions or comments from the council on that item? Okay, in that case, I recommend resolution to approve resolution 2026-07, the 2025-2026 budget.
Wait a minute, what is the actual amendment to this?
So it's the end of year budget amendment. I believe it was discussed at the last meeting, but it's just,
I was not here.
oh, I apologize. I wasn't either. So this is just end of the year, accounting for, unexpected expenditures, making sure that all of the funds are balanced according to how we spend them.
Okay, right here.
So is there a motion or second?
So moved.
Second.
Move. Roll call.
McEwen?
Yes.
Schoenberg?
Yes.
Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter?
No.
Schulte?
Yes. Okay, resolution 2026-06. This is the 2026 and 2027 budget. So this is to approve the Village of Weberville's budget for this upcoming year. This is what we anticipate to collect in terms of revenues and what we expect to have in terms of expenditures. We'll do our typical mid-year budget amendment in about 6 to 8 months. Any questions on the budget for this upcoming year?
What are those numbers? Just income versus expenditures?
Oh, this-
You looking for this?
Am I?
You know those drafts that you were looking at, Sam, that looks like this? It's right on the front of them.
Yeah.
How did I miss that? Okay, so, general fund revenues, 1.6 million, expenditures, 1.4, major streets, 162 and 136. Local streets, 102, municipal streets, 131, 112, sewer, 187, and 331, water, 597, 550, and motor pool is 74 and 74. Thank you, guys. Any questions from the council? Not, I recommend that we approve resolution 2026-06, the 26-27 fiscal year budget.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
McEwen?
Yes.
Schoenberg?
Yes.
Stanfield?
Yes.
Walter?
No.
Schulte?
Yes. Okay, last resolution for this evening, which is 2026-08, the penny policy. So as many are aware, we're no longer making pennies. So we're here to adopt the penny policy that outlines how the village will round cash payments. So anything ending in 1 or 2 cents will be rounded down to 0. 3 to 4 cents will be rounded up to 5 cents. Obviously, if it's 0 or 5, will remain the same. 6 and 7 cents will be rounded down to the nearest 5 cents, and 8 to 9 cents will be rounded up to 10. Pretty straightforward, very similar to what other communities and businesses have adopted. This will go into place when we run out of pennies, which I paid part of my water bill in pennies. It should be set for a while.
I have plenty too, so.
Any questions about the penny policy? Recommend that we approve Resolution 2026-08 penny policy.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
McEwen,
Yes.
Schoenborn,
Yes.
Stanfield,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes. Okay, item number 6, the site plan review for consumers, that's 2852. Jacob, I assume you want to take this one?
Yep. Okay, so McKenna's reviewed the preliminary application materials. This is for a new building addition at the Consumers Energy site located at 2800 Stockbridge Road. This is located within the M1 Limited Industrial District. The applicant is proposing a new gas odorization building for the site, as well as some small parking additions, widening of the existing driveway, and removal of old asphalt on the site. The proposed building is 50 feet wide, 74 feet long. It has a height of 22 feet. We reviewed the plan for dimensional requirements, determined that it was compliant with everything other than what it is already legally non-conforming to. We reviewed the landscaping, parking and loading areas, trash receptacles, signage, and lighting. I can go through all of this, but ultimately, we recommend that the village council approve the site plan with the following conditions. Condition number 1, the applicant must submit a photometric plan to ensure no light trespass greater than 0.5-foot candles is shown at the property line and no greater than 5-foot candles within any parking area. That the condition number 2, that the applicant must contact Mr. Jim Wright to determine and acquire all necessary building permits. Condition number 3, the applicant must get approval from the village's engineering and/or Department of Public Works for stormwater management. And the condition number 4, the applicant must receive approval from the fire chief regarding fire safety and suppression for the hazardous materials on the site.
So you're enlarging the building, is that what you're saying?
They are proposing a new building addition, yes.
For what purpose?
It's a gas odorization building, and then they're doing parking additions, they're widening the driveway, and then removing old asphalt on the site.
Thank you, Jacob. Any other questions from Ford or Bruce?
I'd be happy to review the plans for you, but the drainage approval would need to come from Ingham County.
Okay. So that is just a change to condition number 3 then, for the stormwater coming from Ingham County.
Good catch. Thank you, Bruce. Any other discussion from the council? If not, I recommend that we approve the site plan review for consumers 2800 M52 as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
McEwen,
Yes.
Schoenborn,
Yes.
Stanfield,
Yes.
Walter,
Not until everything's approved, no.
Schultz.
Yes. Good. Next is the lot combination review for Franklin Street. So another one for you, Jacob.
So this is a request from the applicant living at 117 Franklin Street. So the parcels, the second parcel listed on this report is actually wrong. It's 006. But the request is to combine the 2 parcels, which are both R1A, 1-family, low-density residential, The applicant desires to combine these to eliminate the non-conforming setback on the smaller lot. 117 Franklin Street, ending in parcel number 002, is currently 0.2 acres, and the vacant parcel to the south of it is 0.08 acres. Currently, within the R1A district, the property at 117 Franklin Street already exceeds both requirements, but the vacant parcel does not. Combining them just eliminates the non-conforming parcel. So we would recommend that the lot combination be approved.
Questions or discussion from the council? If not, recommend that we approve the lot combination for Franklin Street at 117 Franklin Street as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Kishuman,
Yes.
Schoenborg,
Yes.
Stanfield,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes.
Schulte.
Yes. Okay, next is the updated version of McKenna's proposal to restructure services. So I had reached out to Chris Corey a matter of months ago to try to figure out how we can essentially save the Monessen Village as well as getting better services. It's been over 10 years since these contracts have been reviewed, so I guess Jacob, I'll give you the floor to speak on what's being proposed here.
Sure, yep. So current services to the village include zoning administration, permits, zoning amendments and document maintenance, planning reviews, and building permit and inspections. We understand that the village wants to shift responsibility of the building permits and inspections to Livingston County Building Department, so we would no longer provide that service.
Livingston County
Livingston County.
or Ingham County?
Ingham County doesn't have a building department.
We also provide code enforcement services and then any type of special projects as well. Building off of what Sam said, this contract's been in place since 2014. Currently, hourly invoicing averages about $2,000 a month with a retainer of just under $1,700 per month. We are proposing restructuring the contract to reduce the hourly invoicing and really just have everything either done through the retainer or flat rate fees. So the proposed retainer would be $2,500. The permit revenue, currently we receive 75% of the building permit revenue, which we would no longer be doing as a result of changing to the county services there. But for zoning permit revenue, it would remain the 75% or the $30 of the $40 permit. Planning reviews, again, this hasn't been updated since 2014. We're proposing a flat rate system for everything. The village can update its fee schedules to ensure that the amounts are covered by the applicants. And then we provided flat rate services that don't currently exist in the contract, so everything has essentially been billed at an hourly rate. Now we're providing flat rate service fees for in-person meetings, virtual meetings, zoning amendments, draft revisions, public hearing notices, zoning map updates, and interpretation letters of zoning analysis. And then I understand also that with code enforcement, we'll be looking to move that from Mr. Wright to DPW staff as well, which is in this as well. So, any questions?
As far as the Livingston County portion of this goes, it's not been put in front of the council as of yet, but it was part of the discussion that I had with Chris. Should this new contract be adopted, nothing would change in the short term, but should this board want to bring on Livingston County, which I can explain in just a second, that portion of McKenna's responsibilities would go away and there would be some transitional handoff that would need to transpire. But essentially right now for the building services portion of this, or the building permits and inspections, that's conducted once a week by Jim Wright, typically on Monday mornings. What Livingston County is able to offer is essentially taking over the permitting and inspection portion of it, which they offer 5 days a week. And their fee schedule is available online. It's very affordable, in my opinion, compared to what our current fee schedule is. So that's all to be discussed in greater detail at a future meeting, but that's just a quick overview of.
From where do they come? Like, out of what town do they operate?
Howell.
Yeah.
Howell?
So if you know Aldi and Howell,
Mm-hmm.
their building is right in that parking
Behind
lot.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not too close to go.
And all of that it'd be a huge improvement to the administrative side of things in our office, because all of that would be handled directly by the applicant. So they would interface with Livingston County for obtaining the permits, paying for them, doing the inspections. So it'd be a big relief on our office staff.
So then Jim Wright wouldn't be coming here anymore on Mondays? Is
Correct.
that- Okay.
Nor, at least even under this contract, Jim would only be here as needed for enforcement.
Correct.
I
So
thought that was going to DPW.
I think that's something that we need, that'll evolve as we learn where the division of responsibility is and who is able to enforce what parts of the ordinances. But as of right now, as a cost saving measure, it has not been effective to have half a day a week staffed by one person to oversee it. So now it would be as needed basis.
I see.
Am I capturing that effectively?
So
And I think you would be here 4 hours a week
4 hours a week, yep.
doing the plan review, zoning administration part of it.
As needed. Or is that gonna be
That's
like
once a
a
week, yeah.
permanent 4 hours a week?
And that doesn't have to be on the same day every week either.
Yep.
Bounce that around, however you like.
So, any other questions from the council? Thoughts?
If it's a cost saving to the village, then I think that's a great idea.
That would be the intent, trying to get more for less.
Well, roughly how much are we gonna be saving with this?
If
Off the top of your head?
I had to guess, probably 20 to 30,000 a year. Right now, our total spend with McKenna is about 65,000 a year.
Yeah, something like that.
Between the 3 or 4 different buckets. It's, as it says in the contract, the old way is a very complex interface between the different contracts that we're running concurrently.
I know it's really important to the builders.
Yep.
To be able to get a hold of someone to schedule those inspections. I shouldn't say just builders, in general, anyone, contractors, that's very important.
The way the system is set up right now holds people up.
Yeah,
There's just no two ways about it, it holds people up.
the fact that they can get a hold of someone themselves, schedule it, I think that's really important.
And to be clear, that would come later, separate of
Correct.
the McKenna contract,
Down the pipes.
hopefully. Next meeting.
And the fact that we can save the taxpayers money, that is a huge plus right there.
Okay. With no further discussion, I would recommend that we approve the updated contract with McKenna to restructure their services.
Motion to approve.
Second,
Roll call.
McEwen,
Yes.
Schoenborg,
Yes.
Stanfield,
yes.
Walter,
I'm still, how are we voting on this when we don't have the final draft of what we're gonna vote on? I mean, I'm a little confused by this. I'm all in receiving the taxpayer money here. But
I
you're
asked if
saying
there's-
that's gonna come,
I asked if there was
the
discussion.
details are gonna come later.
It was motioned and seconded. We're voting right now.
Go ahead, all right, no.
Sophie.
Yes. Okay. Motion passes. Next item is the civil infraction ordinance. So this is stemming back to a few meetings ago when the council adopted new language into their ordinances for defining data centers. And it was recognized that the civil infraction and penalties portion was rather out of date and what's being proposed here, which Jacob, I think you're able to speak on as well, is a reflection of those conversations and what the board was hoping to see.
Correct, yep. So we had a chance to discuss the proposed language with the village attorney. Made revisions to this, which we believe addresses and corrects some of the legal vulnerabilities. So the biggest changes of what's in front of you now, this clarifies violations as a civil violation instead of defaulting as misdemeanors. It aligns the penalty language with the Michigan's municipal civil infraction statute. It improves clarity and compliance with enforcement procedures, so due process. It expands liability to responsible parties beyond the property owner, so this includes tenants, contractors, agents, the like. And then it just reduces the ambiguity and strengthens the defense of the ordinance. So those changes are on the second and third page. And then we were also requested to provide some relevant ordinances in relation to civil infractions. So it provided just a rough draft of tall grass and noxious weeds and then blight control. I did meet with the clerk on Friday, understand that there is already actually a noxious weeds ordinance in place. I don't know how well it ties to the civil infraction, so the two ordinances that were provided with this don't have to be discussed tonight. But the revisions to the penalty, the general penalty civil infractions is before you and has been addressed and corrected, so.
Yeah, the current noxious weed ordinance for the penalty portion references section, I think it's 10.99, the current penalties portion. So I don't think anything needs changed there. So it would be to approve this less chapter 97, tall grass and noxious weeds, correct?
And 98, which is blight control.
Okay.
So those are more so for discussion.
Okay, so the general penalty portion, civil infraction, for the monetary portion of it, looks like the, unless otherwise specified, the civil fine for violation would be $75 plus costs and other sanctions for each infraction. Civil fines may be imposed for repeated violations. Repeat offense means a second or any subsequent municipal civil infraction of the same requirement or provision. The increased fine for repeat offense would be as follows. The second fine is of a first repeat offense shall be 150. The third would be 325, and the fourth would be 500. Any questions?
Who's gonna enforce these?
That would be our DPW.
So they're just gonna ride around, or is it going to be neighbor calling in a complaint? somebody walking by calling in complaints? I mean, how is this gonna work?
I think that's something that's open for discussion and certainly needs to be spelled out in clear text of, I guess, proper chain of escalation, first contact being, verbal, preferred, second warning, written, third ticket.
Because we do have some neighbors that just call just to make complaints,
Mhm.
thinking that they're going to get their neighbors in trouble.
Well, if a true violation takes place, that's one thing, but I understand what you're saying. There's a lot of nuisance complaints, so.
But our DPW is also riding around the village all day long. And they should know by now, since most of them have been here for amount of time, they should know what is sitting and not moving, or, I mean, it's all plain in sight. You don't have to look very hard to see any of it. I mean, so I think the DPW in their travels, it just needs to be, instead of them ignoring it, they now have to pay attention to it.
And historically, where it's been problematic, like with tall grass and noxious weeds, is with having code enforcement here one day a week, is it would have to be egregiously bad to get noticed. And then by the time a letter gets sent, goes to Lansing to Grand Rapids to come back here, usually the homeowner or resident or business is taking care of it. And then they're angry because why did I get this letter when my grass is not a problem? So this would address a lot of that.
Well, grass is one thing, but right down blight in these yards that are laying around here is
Something different.
ridiculous. And it's something that somebody needs to be noticing. I've said it more than once, and I'll keep saying it until somebody does something with it.
So, that being said, recommend that we approve the civil infraction ordinance, less sections 97 and 98.
Second.
Roll call.
McEwen,
Yes.
Schoenberg,
Yes.
Stanfield,
Yes.
Walford,
Yes.
Schultz.
Yes. Right. Item number 10 is the Elected Officials Academy for Lana, who would like to attend this. Lana, do you want to speak on it?
Sure, so I attended my classes last year, and this is like a enhanced class that goes on, and has a lot to do with communication skills, not only with other elected officials, but also with the community.
Okay. Looks like this is on May 15th and 16th.
Correct.
Friday
Friday night, and it goes in, picks back up Saturday morning, and I'll be done at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Saturday afternoon. Most of my meals are included, so it will have some mileage. And even if I think there's one meal, but I think the last meal, it was under $10 that I turned in. It was like $7.
Is there a hotel in there?
Yes,
Okay. All right, so the cost of the class is $300, because we are a league member. So the total cost would be $443.19. Questions from the council?
443.
Yes, 443. I recommend that we approve Lana to attend the 2026 Elected Officials Academy on May 15th and 16th, not to exceed $443.19, and to include meals when not provided in mileage.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
McEwen,
Yes.
Schoenberg,
Yes.
Stanfield,
yes.
Walford, Schultz.
Yes. Good. Last item of new business, this is the capital improvement plan discussion. So I do not believe that there's anything to vote on this evening, but Jacob, I'll let you introduce the topic since this is the first time we're doing this.
Sure thing. So capital improvement plan is a multi-year planning and budgeting tool It is a requirement of the RRC, the MEDC, to become RRC certified. But it is also just a best practice of municipalities. So what this is going to do is review all of your facilities, infrastructure, vehicles, equipment, et cetera, needs over the next 5 or 6 years. And then, so identify those and then prioritize those for budgeting in the future. So I have worked with the staff over the last few weeks to identify some of those needs. Just kind of put together the base plan. And this will be worked through over the next year to identify any other projects or equipment needs, anything that the council may also like included. But basically, we want to identify these things, we want to prioritize these things, and then we started to provide and demonstrate the need with these. So we took photos of certain vehicles where the bed is rusted out, there's holes in it, or taken a record of what the age and mileage for certain vehicles are. We have an assessment of what type of projects will be going on throughout the village over the next couple of years, that sort of thing. And so we've broken these down into, is this water and sewer utilities? Is this vehicle and equipment? Is this streets and sidewalk? Is this public owned facilities and buildings? Is this park related? And just put this together in hopes that it will be used as a tool in your budget process moving forward.
Appreciate the work you're putting into this. I think it's sorely needed. As we purchase more equipment, have more responsibilities, keeping track of what needs replaced and attention when is going to be paramount. It seems like a few times a year things pop up and we're not necessarily prepared for them, or where we don't know where it fits in, so hopefully this will help figure a lot of that out.
I should also say that it doesn't bind you to doing it. Say you put a project on it 2 years from now, you're not bound to do that. You should. You will be reviewing and updating this annually, but it's really just a guide.
Yeah, we can plan for something to do in 5 years, but if it breaks and we need to do it now,
Right.
it got moved up.
It's moved up.
Any questions about the capital improvement plan? Is there any feedback that you'd like from us, Jacob, or?
We're gonna continue to work on it over the next year. I guess just think of certain things that you'd like to see throughout the village in the coming years. We could start to game plan for that and how those would be funded, whether it's setting aside X amount of dollars every year into some account, or looking for grant opportunities, which is another reason you'd want this. This is going to help your grant competitiveness by having these things identified with funding sources. I pulled some information from the staff, was helpful enough to provide some information on maintenance and repair costs to some of the larger equipment and what that is cost. Like, for example, the hydrovac truck, for example, which is an enormous expense, right? Over $500,000 for a brand new one, right? But then you look at, okay, well, over the last 2-3 years, we spent $60,000 in maintenance and repair. So it helps kind of demonstrate that need and helps you set the priority. So that's, we're hoping to put together something useful for the staff or the council. Want this to be tailored to you, and feel free to bend my ear on it. So,
And this is hard assets. This does not include infrastructure like roads or.
yes, it does.
Okay.
Yep. And it's great too. So speaking with Mr. Jones, I know that he is when he is certified to identify the PASER ratings of each of your streets, which will help us understand which streets within the village are in the worst condition and how those should be prioritized for resurfacing or total reconstruct. I mean, there's really only benefit to having a capital improvement plan, whether you stick to it every single project.
Not to leave you out, Bruce, I did talk to Bruce about that too, and I think that is a service that DEA offers to
Yeah.
kind of survey the streets, so.
The Pacer studies, yeah, we have a pavement group. So we can do that, happy to provide a proposal, you know, if you feel like Brian has the ability to do that, then.
I didn't know he was seeking certification for that. Full
Okay.
transparency, I think.
Do you still want a proposal on that?
Let me talk to Ryan when he gets back in town. I'll try to touch base with him tomorrow, see what his timeline or ability is.
One thing that we can do that maybe he doesn't have the ability to do is to produce sort of a heat map of the streets in the
Right.
city, so that you can easily see, you know, what the condition is based on a map. So whatever you want to do on that.
Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion for the capital improvement plan? If not?
So we're not voting on.
Nope, nothing to vote on. It's part of what McKenna's doing for us. Like Jacob said, it will help us with MEDC become certified as a redevelopment rating community. Opens up grant opportunities, so looking to adopt this time next year with the 27-28 budget. Brings us to the end of new business, so our second round of public comment, we will open that up. Comments from the public.
Good evening, John Leonard. Earlier, before the meeting started, I handed out some information that I took upon myself to gather concerning the lawsuit concerning the village president, and the former clerk treasurer. Some concerns on my part that I don't know if you were exposed to the issues with this lawsuit to the tune of $100,000, and it may end up in a jury trial, and you have no idea where those are going to go. But the attorney fees that are incurred, what this does to a number of issues with village concerns. Number one is fiscal concerns. This could possibly fall back on the responsibility of the village, possible. Number two is the budget secure against village residents' responsibility in these lawsuits? And the effect of the insurance ratings and coverage in the future? How is this going to affect our rating for the insurance company? And the last item or issue that I've got concerns with is the village president initiated this lawsuit with this employee. I understand covering the cost of legal fees for village issues, but is the village responsible covering the legal fees for the village president? Again, who initiated this lawsuit. So those are my concerns, and I'm really concerned about the fiscal responsibility that is falling on the council, and I urge you to think about things before you vote and how it's going to affect the potential and the possibility of falling back onto the residents and the taxpayers of this town. So thank you for your time. Those are my concerns.
Thank you. Any other public comment? No, I'm seeing none. I have no comments. Any comments from the council?
Yeah, why is it we're hearing about this from a citizen and not you in the office downstairs?
Scott will cover this. We're not going to discuss litigation in an open meeting.
Scott Gould is not part of this litigation, from my understanding. That's what he said.
No. That's what we have insurance for. Any other comments from the council? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
I will make motion to adjourn at 6:15 PM.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thank you all for coming.